Good morning, and thank you for having me here today. I'm so excited to be able to speak on such a enormous opportunity for the city to show that LGBT people are part of the El Paso community and part of the El Paso family. And the moment I was able to see this crosswalk for the first time through social media, I just about cried because it looked absolutely amazing. And throughout the years that I've seen other cities and other states have these beautiful crosswalks, I had always wished that El Paso would be able to have a few of their own at least, and now we do. So I work as the volunteer coordinator and the youth services coordinator for the Borderland Rainbow Center. I identify as a transgender woman. I use she, her pronouns. And one of the things I remember struggling with growing up was the fact that there wasn't enough transgender representation for me to be able to understand and accept what I was feeling and accept who I was. But the moment I found resources like the Borderline Rainbow Center, admittedly a little later in my transition, I found hope that El Paso could be the accepting and loving city that I knew it to be. I knew that with their help and along with all of our other amazing allies, our amazing community members, that we can make El Paso as accepting and loving as it's always been, and making sure that us as the LGBTQ plus community are included in that. I had the opportunity to go to New York for the first time a week ago, and I was able to visit the Stonewall Inn, and especially now during Pride Month, with it being so, dressed up to the nines with rainbows and pride flags and everything, it felt like I finally made it to a place where I could be myself and I could fight for others that went through the same struggles that I did and that are still going through the same struggles. Because as of now, Texas is still attacking our trans youth and trying to strip them of their rights, and we cannot let that happen. And the moment they have any sort of victory in taking those rights, it's not going to stop there. And that's when they're going to continue to come for the rest of us, and we cannot let that happen. Our trans youth deserve the representation that we are able to have now, that we have so much more representation now. We have such a bigger platform than we did several years ago, and it's up to us to be able to use that platform and use our voice to be able to let them know that everything's going to be okay, that they have every right to exist just as we all do, and that they are human, and that we have the opportunity to tell the rest of the world and the rest of the country that we're here, that we exist, and no one's going to take that away from us. So thank you for having me here, and I'm very excited for the Pride Month. Happy Pride.
It's kind of interesting to see so many people here. It's super, super encouraging. I think this here, the Pride sidewalks, is something that I could never have imagined would have happened here in El Paso. It's something that I think we would have all hoped for, but I wasn't sure whether or not we would do it or if we were ready for it. I do work with the Borderland Rainbow Center. I am a board member there, so I'm very excited about that. But I'm also a business owner. I'm also on other boards. I interact with the world quite often, and one of the things that always happens for me is that I'm constantly coming out. It's a constant thing. Every day, every moment is a coming out moment. And so things like this, when you see this, it's more than just a moment. It's an ability for us to feel like we are here. Because no matter what, even if there's quite a few people who feel like, you know what, I don't really know anybody that's gay, it's fine, as long as I don't see it, it's okay. It's but one of the things that people don't understand is that they're asking for you not to be yourself. It's all those little moments when you're talking to somebody and you get a chance to bring up your husband, right? You get a chance to bring up your boyfriend. You get a chance to bring up all the things that you've had a chance to experience. Well, remember that there are people in your life that may not be out yet, especially here in El Paso, because we do have a strong Catholic background, right? And so there's oftentimes this kind of like, well, and earlier we kind of joked about it. You can bring your friend. Is your friend coming? Well, that's not my friend. That's my girlfriend. That's not my friend. That's my wife. That's not my friend. That's my husband. And these things here, this helps us to remember. And this helps people who aren't out yet, who still don't have that ability, because it's a difficult process. And wherever you are in that process, that's okay. Only do what you're capable of doing, but know that you have an entire community here who sees you and who will love you for who you are. Now, I'm super excited to see all of our city representatives, including the city manager, Tommy Gonzalez, who's back here. I see you a lot in El Paso ink, so yay. But so, yes, this is a huge moment. And like some of you had said earlier, but this is only the first, right? And it's not really the first, it's the first of a new age, right? Because what's going on right now, we've got a terrible political climate. And there are rights that are being put at risk, including one of the rights that we have, hopefully forever, right? Which is the right to marry somebody that we love. But what needs to happen is we need to see these changes on a local level. So what I'm gonna do today is A, celebrate with everybody, and B, of course, like Dave did, give a shameless plug to the Borderland Rainbow Center. Because if you're not familiar with the things that we do, please look us up on Facebook and on Instagram. We provide peer resources. We provide we do a podcast. We provide a food pantry that isn't just for LGBT people. Like, we provide all of these things on a budget that you wouldn't even imagine. And on the backs of people who are not here today. In fact, I'm speaking instead of Brenda, who's a good friend, who's probably at home finishing the grant that we need to get done by Friday, because that's how we get our money, right? But what I'm gonna do today too, is I am gonna challenge everybody in this community, especially our city reps, because you're here today and you're telling me that you have a commitment. So I don't want that commitment to just end here with this rainbow. What I wanna see is I wanna see outreach. What I wanna see is you guys help us find money for these programs. What I want you guys to do is to go and talk to these districts where we see these kids who are suffering from bullying, and to tell them, hey, it's okay, you've got a friend with me. It's like, because it's not just about being LGBT, it's also about being that ally. And if you don't know how to be an ally, come to us and we will help you, because that's all we wanna do. So at the end of the day, thank you so much for this moment. Thank you so much for giving us a platform. Thank you so much. But know that we're gonna come knocking again, and know that we're always gonna be here, and that no matter what, like Sun City Pride, we are all family here. Thank you so much.
3, 2, 1.
Happy Pride Day!